Good morning. It's great to see so many of you so early in the morning here. So today we're going to discuss with the European defense ministers what more can we do to help Ukraine, and also what can we do really fast for our own defense. So we have proposed a white paper on defense, preparedness 2030, so how can we get ready? And of course there are a lot of elements that need to be discussed when it comes to funding, when it comes to common procurement, when it comes to also flagship projects. So I expect very thorough and intense discussions today. So thank you. I can take your questions.
High Representative, Austrian National Television, Johannes Bretter, only about 10 defense ministers will be here today. What do you think this signal is towards the world if only 10 of the 27 show up today?
I don't know the numbers. Yesterday there were a lot of ministers. I actually didn't count them. So hopefully today there are as many. Of course, we have many formats. I'm also going to NATO, where we have the foreign ministers, NATO foreign ministers meeting. So there's a lot going on, and I think it's extremely important that we only don't meet, but we also do those things that we agree.
Reuters, I wanted to ask, will the trade war with the U.S. affect transatlantic defense cooperation?
Well, there are no winners in trade wars, and it's clear that all these tariffs will raise prices for the consumers, and in the end, we get to pay for everything. So, of course, the defense cooperation that we have with the Americans is also very important. And when we have the white paper, then we are also thinking about what more can we do for our own defense industry, because we are buying a lot from the Americans right now, but we need to diversify our portfolio so that we would have capabilities to produce here the ammunition and things we need here, and also to be able to buy from other allies, so that we have a diversified portfolio in this regard.
The paper says that 3 first years will be crucial. When we can say that white paper, the strategy of the army, is working or not? So what is the deadline? And when can we assess the real needs?
It is, like you say, the question is about implementation. It's not the paper, but actually the projects that we are going to implement. So what is good is that there's a lot of willingness to move fast, and also the European Defence Agency has a role here to do the help with the common procurement. 2030 is a deadline that we have put, but I think it's too far. I think we need to move faster, and my feeling is that it's also the common understanding from the defense ministers that we need to move faster.
Do you think there is enough solidarity between ministers?
Yes, there is. If we have been talking about this, of course, the question is not only words but also deeds that we need to see. Europe is, we are strong when we are together, and there are different countries that have different worries, and we have been always solidar with those who have worries, even if those countries in the other side of the Europe don't have those. So we have always been in it's for each other, and I hope it's also so in the future. So. These things are moving very, very well. So my point is that we need to get the help to Ukraine as fast as possible. President Zelensky has said that they need 5 billion to have at least 2 million rounds, and I'm glad to see that actually we already have different proposals or different countries are coming with their input to this. So we have already over 50% of what is needed. So today I also expect that countries will declare what more can they do and what more will they actually do in a very short term to help Ukraine. Because the stronger they are on the battlefield, the stronger they are behind the negotiation table. So thank you.
Well, good morning to everybody. As a European Union Commissioner on Defence and Space, I'm very happy to participate in this very special Defence Council meeting, devoted to two most important topics: how to support Ukraine and how to implement white paper, which we just recently approved. On both of those topics, Poland is playing a very important role and is being a very good example to all other member states to follow, both with its own defense spending, with its very clear investments into strengthening defense capabilities, not only of Poland, but also taking care about the whole region. And that is why an initiative very much promoted by Polish government, also together with neighboring countries, Baltic countries, which is called Eastern Border Defense Shield, is very important for the whole European Union, and also support Ukraine, where Poland is showing very clear leadership, is the top priority both in the white paper and in our daily activities. So I hope that this council meeting will be very successful.
Commissioner, one question.
Yeah.
Do you think the Trump tariffs, the new tariffs, they are obviously economic measures, but what do you think they say about the state of the transatlantic relationship?
Well, we shall see, Definitely that is what the European Union was not wishing to happen. We did everything to avoid that development. Now we shall see what are the consequences, both from economical point of view and political point of view. We are keeping our strong belief that transatlantic relation is of strategic importance.
You mentioned yesterday solidarity was needed. Solidarity between the EU member states was needed. Do you think there's a lack of it?
No, there is simply we need to understand that defense is some kind of symbol and implementation of solidarity value, which is a most important value in the European Union. And solidarity in defense means implementation of collective defense principles, where each member state needs to feel the responsibility not only for its own defense, but also for collective defense. So if somebody is not investing enough into its own defense, they need to understand that also they are weakening other countries. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you. Welcome to be in Poland. I'm Belgian minister. I'm a new minister of Belgian defense. I think it is important that Europe needs to be more like Poland. Strong economy, strong defense, and I think that's a future for Europe as well. So that's why I'm here. Belgium will step up on defense spending as well. So, please.
Belgium has a strong defense production, so Europe needs to produce hundreds of heavy weapons a year just to keep up with the Russian production, which is increasing. So, do you believe that in 3 years, in 5 years, Europe will have a really strong base, industrial base, able to produce hundreds of tanks of artillery systems?
Absolutely. I'm absolutely sure. We're a very strong continent. We're a rich continent. We have a lot of innovation, R&D. So, yeah, we are strong. We can do this. We need to do this, and we will do this. And Belgium always was leading force, was founding father of the European Union, of NATO. And we're working together with Netherlands, with Benelux, and all European partners. So I will absolutely also invest in Belgian industry, defense industry, and step up the pace when we talk about capabilities and creation of new capacities. So we need to produce more, and we will. It takes some time. We're not used to. We don't have that tradition. But we will do this. We need to do this. We need to invest more in European defense industry and have a real strategy for European defense. And that's what we talk about today. Belgium has beautiful companies in the defense industry, and we will step up also in production. We're doing that for 3 years. We tripled a lot of production, and we have to do more. So that is what we're gonna do with the government, but also with private companies, because we need the private industries, the private capital, the banks, everything needs to come together, and then we can be very strong in producing more to stand strong against Russia and other enemies.
Wilt u de begroting van België eventueel oprekken met de nieuwe begrotingsregels of versoepeling van de begrotingsregel? Is dat een optie voor België?
Dat is een optie. We hebben nog geen beslissing over de begroting genomen. We zijn volop in gesprek over hoe we dat gaan financieren. Naar de 2% evalueren, maar we zijn daar ook mee bezig. Hopelijk morgen op de ministerraad wordt dat finaal getrancheerd, dat dossier. Maar lenen door Europees samen te werken aan een interessante rentevoet, dat lijkt me zeker een interessante piste. Absoluut, ja. Absoluut, ja. Nee, daarom geen eurobonds. Dus die Europese lening die mogelijk zal worden. Dus dat is iets dat zeker ook bekeken wordt bij ons. We zullen een mix moeten maken van maatregelen, structurele verhoging, eenmalige one-shots maatregelen. En daarnaast een stuk lenen, een stuk dividenden en activa verkopen. Dus we zijn aan het bekijken. We hebben nog geen definitief compromis gevonden in de regering. Maar we zijn er dichtbij. Alle elementen liggen op tafel. En wat zeker is dat we naar die 2% gaan. Zo snel als het kan. Meneer Marco Rubio komt morgen ook de eerste minister bezoeken. Ik zal daarbij kunnen zijn, dus ik ben ook benieuwd wat Amerika te vertellen heeft. Graag gedaan. Thank you.
to be here. Wonderful to be in Warsaw. We're very grateful for our host today from Poland and the Polish presidency. Just a few things on today's meetings. Our first session, of course, is going to be very much supporting, but focusing on stepping on support to Ukraine. We announced earlier this week our biggest support package so far, meaning that we in 2025 have also supported the Ukrainians now with decisions up to about 3 billion euros, and then all in all, our support amounts to about 8 billion euros. We encourage more countries to do more. We really want to make sure that the Ukrainians can negotiate from a position of strength. In addition, we're also looking forward to having deliberations and discussions about the EU White Book as well. We think there are many good initiatives into this, but it also comes down now to national decisions to increase all our defense investment. And we also did an announcement last week that we are also stepping up, and we're going to be heading up to about 3.5% by 2030 as well. So this is absolutely crucial that Europe now take a larger responsibility for its own security. Do you have any questions? No. Yeah. Okay.
Men hur ska man implementera själva vitboken?
Ja, vitboken kommer ju kunna genomföra gradvis, så det innehåller ju många olika delar i den. Men det jag tycker är bra med vitboken, det är ju också att den syftar till att medlemsländerna ska kunna fatta nödvändiga beslut för att till exempel kunna öka försvarsinvesteringarna, öka samverkan kring forskning och utveckling eller till exempel militär mobilitet.
Det finns ju 65% i låneinstrumentet. Är du rädd att det kan skada svensk försvarsindustri, att det kan missgynna dem?
Vår uppfattning är ju att vi bör ha ett öppet förhållningssätt till omvärlden, för nu, även på försvarshandel, för nu handlar det om att bygga upp förmåga, och det handlar om att bygga upp förmåga snabbt, och då måste man också kunna upphandla försvarsmateriel utanför EU. Det har ju varit vår linje under en längre tid. Sen när det kommer till de tekniska detaljerna kopplat till att svenska försvarsföretag som då är utlandsägda, de kan också delta på samma villkor. Så är förhållandena faktiskt rimligt utformade. Men vi har ett öppet förhållningssätt till försvarsmarknaden. För nu handlar det framförallt om att bygga militär förmåga. Måste vi göra snabbt. Då måste man kunna köpa inom europeiskt men också utanför Europa.
Tack.
Dear Minister, do you believe that the European Union can replace or back Ukraine in critical capabilities which are endangered somehow by American policies? For instance, satellite intelligence, communications, all intelligence capabilities.
Well, we think it's crucial that the European allies are stepping up and doing more in regard to support for Ukraine, and that could, of course, be investing straight into the Ukrainian defense industry using the Danish model. It could be donations, or it could be stepping up also collaboration on things that the Ukrainian finds important, and, of course, situational awareness and intelligence might be one of them.
What is the position of your government on the request of Ukrainian presidents on 2 million shells for Ukrainian army?
We look favorably of that, and we support also the High Representative Kallas initiatives on this. And we would be welcome also the commitment of up to 40 billion a year annually by all the member states. I don't know the feasibility of this as well, but rest assured that we want a forward-leaning and ambitious approach by the EU also in support of Ukrainians as much as they can.
Do you expect other EU countries today to increase this support?
Well, we would certainly welcome it, and we think it's necessary because it all now comes down to putting maximum pressure on Russia, and the best way we could do that is stepping up sanctions, using the frozen assets to invest into Ukrainian defense industry, and increasing our support to Ukraine military and financially. That will be our way of approaching it.
And how will U.S. tariffs affect EU and U.S. defense cooperation, in your opinion?
Well, defense cooperation, I don't really have the assessment actually on how it will, but of course it will have a negative impediment on our trade in that regard. Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Good morning. Okay, a little bit taller.
Hi, good morning to you all. A couple of words from Finland's perspectives to this meeting. First of all, it's highly important that the defense ministers are gathering because there's two really hot topics now, this European defense, and is there going to be some concrete measures, what we are emphasizing in Finland, that there's a lot of talk in Europe, has been in several years, but now we have to take concrete measures, and the measures comes from individual governments, and the European Union is only tool to help them to do the decisions. So the European Union is not doing behalf of nations those decisions. The European Union is only helping, and we want to see concrete measures also in the white paper and rearm program. So I'm really eager to hear the viewpoints of the different countries, how to ramp up the defense in Europe. We know that Russia is now an acute threat for Ukraine, but there will be a threat to Europe in longer term, maybe in 3 to 5 years, if we are not ramping up the defense. And the next acute discussion is about supporting Ukraine in their struggle with Russia and in the negotiations. So military support, we have to be even more stronger from the European side. We know that the United States is leading the negotiations, but it's highly important that we are also now making a strong input with the military support now at this stage. But
Minister, only about 10 of your colleagues of the 27 member states are here today. Do you think that shows a lack of energy behind the topic of defense? And also, when it comes to Ukraine, many member states have issued supportive words, but done very little to actually issue new packages. What do you say to that?
Well, like I said, it's highly important that all the countries are now have to have that kind of stamina, and they have to continue to support Ukraine, and now concrete measures also to defense. I know that it's hard for democracies to kind of last long, and because Russia is now waiting that we are dropping our gloves after 3 years of war, and I think that the biggest mistake what Europe can now do is that think that if there will be a peace in Ukraine, that is kind of the end of Russia's aggression. No, we have to have proper and independent defense capabilities in the longer term in Europe. So this is really crucial that we are not dropping our gloves now at this point.
Okay, thank you. It's all for now.
Okay.
Morgen darf heute die Frau Bundesminister Danner vertreten, die leider erkrankt ist. Im Zentrum der Diskussionen wird die Frage nach dem künftigen EU-Weißbuch zur Verteidigung stehen. Gerade wenn man die geopolitischen Entwicklungen betrachtet, ist dieses Weißbuch auch für Österreich ein wesentlicher Schritt, um die Verteidigungsbereitschaft Europas hier zu stärken und entsprechend aufzubauen. Wir begrüßen daher die vorgeschlagenen Maßnahmen im EU-Weißbuch und freuen uns schon auf interessante Diskussionen am heutigen Tag. Wir sehen, und das ist ein weiterer Mosaikstein, dass das geopolitische Umfeld, in dem wir uns als Europa befinden, immer schwieriger, immer kontroversieller wird und wir als Europa unsere Hausaufgaben machen müssen. Dazu zählt auch die Verteidigungsbereitschaft Europas entsprechend zu erhöhen und autonomer in Fragen der Sicherheits- und Verteidigungspolitik agieren zu können. Ich glaube, es ist wesentlich und die transatlantischen Beziehungen waren immer ein wesentlicher Faktor, auch für europäische Sicherheit und Verteidigung. Daher ist es gut, wenn man auch die Positionen entsprechend hört, die Positionen entsprechend austauscht. Nichtsdestotrotz haben wir als Europa unsere Hausaufgaben in Fragen der Sicherheits- und Verteidigungspolitik zu machen. Ich glaube, wir sollten uns weniger auf andere Akteure konzentrieren, sondern vielmehr auf Europa selbst, welche Herausforderungen wir haben und wie wir diesen am besten begegnen können.
Was glauben Sie, denn kommt heute hier konkret raus?
Wir werden im Detail die weiteren Maßnahmen der Umsetzung des EU-Weißbuches beschließen. Ein Weißbuch dient ja dazu, nicht nur politische Vorgaben zu geben, sondern auch den rechtlichen Rahmen abzustecken. Wir erwarten ein Omnibus-Paket zu Fragen der Sicherheits- und Verteidigungspolitik für Juni. Das werden wir heute besprechen. Vielen Dank.
Good morning. Good morning. It's a sunny morning, but definitely it's not so sunny in Ukraine at the moment. So we have two main topics today, as you know. First, we will definitely discuss everything what is happening in Ukraine. And we need to increase our military assistance to Ukraine. It is clear. And this is why I really do believe that we need to agree as soon as possible on the new initiatives regarding the 2 million rounds of artillery shells to Ukraine, what the European Commission has proposed. So this is very important. Estonia, of course, will support this, and we would like to see that we will find this consensus as soon as possible. Why we need this, it's clear. Ukraine needs to have better position for the negotiations, and they need to get as much of our assistance as we can give. Estonia will continue also with our own assistance packages. We just finished the program of 0.25% of our GDP. I will be in Kiev on Monday, and I will give all this what we will send to Ukraine. I will give this information to my Ukrainian colleague Rustem Umerov. And of course, we have decided that we will continue with this help constantly. We also decided a couple of weeks ago to send additional 10,000 rounds of 155, also 750,000 packages of food, etc. So we will keep continuing to send military assistance to Ukraine. Second part of the day is European military readiness. And of course, we all understand that to get more readiness and to get more capabilities, we need to invest more into defense. So we are trying to show with our leadership that it is necessary to increase defense spending as soon as possible. We will go to 5%, maybe even above already from the next year. And we will be on the 5% or even higher level for the at least 4 years, but probably it will be the new level, and we will be discussing also that in the Parliament to be for the next decades on the 5% level. So this is what we do, and we will acquire a lot of new capabilities. We will acquire a lot of new equipment. So this is important to understand that when we want to have more readiness, then it's not time just to talk about it. It's time to make decisions, and also we have NATO capability targets, and everybody knows what to do in order to get more readiness. So these will be the main topics for today, and when you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. Pardon? I really do want to see that we will have more countries deciding to go to the new level. So I just heard that a couple of days ago Finland said that they will go to 3%. We've seen that Germany has done a new package, Denmark has done, but we all need to do. And the targets are clear. We have new capability targets. We just need to make decisions in the capitals. Just one last question. No. Okay, then thank you very much. I have my Dutch colleague introducing himself already.
Still celebrating your birthday?
Yes. Good morning. I think it's a very important meeting today. I was in Ukraine last weekend, in Dnipro and in Kiev, right after a large-scale drone attack. I saw the impact very closely, and again, it's another encouragement for me, and it should be an encouragement for all of us to speed up and accelerate our support to Ukraine. That's what we are doing as the Netherlands, but I think many countries should do that as well, because Ukraine needs it every day at the battlefield. We need to make sure that Ukraine gets in a stronger position, that the outlook of Ukraine is improving, because otherwise Russia will not be willing to compromise. I think that's the first priority for today. Second, we should also talk about a potential military mission. We not only need to talk about military planning, but also have more political conversations about it. I think that's also important for today. And third, of course, we will discuss the EU white paper on defense. I think in general, what's in the white paper is very good. The direction is good. For me, two things are important. One is to make sure that we do not only ramp up our defense industry in Europe, but that we also keep other partners on board, because we also need their investments, and we also need companies from the United States, from the United Kingdom and others to work with us. And second, we need to talk about deregulation, because what we see is that European regulations are also standing in the way of our military and our industry to grow, and that's a key priority for us.
Dear Minister, what countries are crucial to ramp up the industrial military production of the European Union? So what countries can increase this production of tanks, heavy weapons, dozens of tanks?
All countries are crucial, because we need every capacity, both bigger countries with more incumbent industries, but also smaller countries. Take, for example, the Netherlands. We have some areas in which we are very strong, for example, in drone production. We need to do this with others as well. But in the Netherlands, we also have production capacity. We just started a cooperation with one of the big manufacturers in the Netherlands. And hopefully, maybe other European countries can also use that production facility in order to ramp up the production. And I know that the same is true for other countries as well, so we should cooperate much more. Second, if we talk about the EU level, we need to make sure that any investment fund that we make, that we also encourage cooperation, because in the Netherlands we also have the whole ecosystem and not every country individually. Ja. Nou, we hebben. Ja, dus wij hebben. Natuurlijk hebben wij aangekondigd dat we voor dit jaar nog 2 miljard extra zullen geven. Onderdeel van dat 3,5 miljard pakket. Onlangs hebben we een groot droneproject van 500 miljoen aangekondigd. Wat ik nu vooral zal zeggen is dat we niet alleen in drones investeren, maar ook meer in luchtverdediging en munitie. Daarbij sluiten we ook aan bij initiatieven door onze Europese collega's die zijn genomen. En we hebben ook, zullen we nog een belangrijk onderdeel van een Patriot systeem zullen we binnenkort leveren. Dus dat is qua luchtverdediging is dat ook heel belangrijk.
Good morning, everyone. It is an important meeting today in Warsaw. And of course, the major focus is Ukraine, support for Ukraine, and also what we Europeans can do with our own defense and military industry. On Ukraine, we must continue supporting constantly Ukraine. Peace through strength, just peace. Not easy to achieve, but certainly Europe must also step up in this regard. And of course, one thing is to provide military support, also financial support. There is ambition to reach 50 billion euros this year, and it must be ambitious goals. Latvia itself supports Ukraine with 0.25% from our GDP, and we encourage every nation also to contribute some percentage, which clearly identifies what is a scope of the support. Then, of course, we must also cooperate closely with the Ukrainian military industry. So the financial mechanisms must be open for Ukraine, because gain is for everyone, for Ukraine, having the support from European side, but also for Europeans, because certainly Ukrainians have developed the latest technologies tested in the battlefield. So that's why it is extremely important to cooperate. On EU defense, good white paper, important rearm ambitious plan. Especially on the financial part, but still also from Latvian perspective, we would advise and advocate more the grant programs. So it's not just about loans, but also that there are grants, and there are some good already role models like ASAP a year ago, when financial support was given exactly to production of ammunition. It is important to have the capabilities which are linked to NATO targets, NATO capability targets. We, from Latvian perspective, of course, looked at one of the capabilities is also protecting the border. So the eastern flank must be protected adequately. So here the Baltic defense line, but also the Polish eastern shield is important mechanisms, once more, to support external border of NATO in EU. So some flagship project certainly must be also provided to the border protection. Last but not least, every country must invest strongly, considerably in its own defense. Here, Latvia already invests 3.7% this year, and we are planning to invest 5% in our defense. We realize how important, again, it is to protect our own people, to develop our military industry, and also support Ukraine.
Minister, one question. Do you think that only 10 ministers being here today, 10 ministers of defense of 27 member states, does that show a lack of energy when it comes to this topic?
No, there is energy. I would even say that there is so many formats, so many activities. We meet in different frameworks. So that's why we keep in touch all the time. That's why I would not draw such conclusions. All countries are being represented. All countries are being, of course, authorized by political leadership. But it also means how many things take place at the same time. What is on a plate also for the ministers? It is a lot. Every day there is something new what we have to deal with. I was myself a few days ago in Paris, also meeting with my French counterpart. Next week there is again potentially meetings among the ministers. So we meet regularly, we keep in touch regularly, and that's why, of course, let's not draw some wider generalizations, vice versa. I would say there is a lot of energy, there is a lot on the plate what to deal with.
Mr. Rubio is in Brussels today. Mr. Rubio is in Brussels today. How would you describe transatlantic relations right now? Do you think they are broken?
No, I don't think they are broken. I believe they must be strengthened every day. It's an ongoing process. Again, from Latvian perspective, transatlantic linkage is extremely important. It's about United States, but it's also about Canada. We must remember that Canada is a leading nation in a multinational brigade in Latvia. It leads a multinational brigade in Latvia, so transatlantic linkage is about both Canada and United States. It's not only about transatlantic linkage because there are 23 countries which are European countries within NATO, so there are wider actually the community of like-minded nations. But yes, United States is indispensable. United States is extremely important as a partner, so we must strengthen those relations every day. Sometimes we see some contradictory signals. Sometimes, of course, we see some steps which we would be happy to see another way, but it doesn't mean that we are not partners. We are strategic partners, we are strategic allies, and the visit of Rubio himself in Brussels also once more underlines it, that we are strengthening those relationships on everyday basis. Okay, thank you very much. Have a good day.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Marie-Agnes Strack-Zimmermann. I'm the chair of the Security and Defense Committee, so I represent the European Parliament, my colleagues, and for the first time we have a full-fledged committee, like we have first time a defense commissioner, so you could realize that something happens in Europe and that we find really a close way together to look forward what we can do, and also very important for the Parliament. So I'm really happy to be here, and I could tell you that we are very close, and we have to be very close, all the countries, the 27 countries, and good to be here, and the answers we will find is very important, because we know that the war in Ukraine, the attack of Russia, Ukraine, doesn't stop. No way, nothing stops. And it's a terrible situation. I was very often in the Ukraine, and I could tell you we have no time, really no time to waste. So it's good to be here, and let's work, and not only talking, doing something.
Vom österreichischen Rundfunk. Was sagen Sie denn, die neuen Zölle von Donald Trump sind natürlich ökonomisch, aber wie würden Sie denn aktuell die transatlantischen Beziehungen beschreiben und sind die nicht schon kaputt, weil sich die USA einfach immer mehr als Feind
Nein, die sind nicht kaputt und wir sollten auch aufpassen, das immer so zu beschreiben. In der Tat, Donald Trump ist unberechenbar, aber wir haben es in der NATO auch immer mit militärischen Entscheidern zu tun. Die wissen, dass für die NATO wie diese Zusammenarbeit elementar ist. Und wir erinnern auch immer daran, dass der Artikel 5 ja auch gegriffen hat nach 9/11, als die Vereinigten Staaten auch die NATO um Unterstützung baten. Und insofern, nein, ich würde sie als gut beschreiben, aber die Lage ist natürlich ernst. Und wir müssen uns im Klaren sein, dass die Amerikaner jetzt zu Recht einfordern, dass die Europäische Union endlich das liefert, was sie tun muss. Wir sind 29 europäische Staaten